Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Sheng. In the short term, the Chinese economy looks comparatively strong, helped by its quick stamping out of the virus spread and heavy state investment. But the world's most populous country is losing when it comes to demographics. Ahead of the results of China's once-a-decade census, there have been several indications that fewer babies were born in the country in 2020 than in any year since 1961, when China suffered mass starvation. A report from Capital Economics last month says it is possible that slowing productivity growth and a shrinking workforce would prevent China from ever overtaking the US, or that if it does, the US would regain the top spot again, helped by immigration that keeps refilling its supply of workers. Mark Williams is a London-based economist at Capital Economics. He compared it with Il Sorpasso, Italy's moment of pride in the late 1980s when it overtook the UK only to drop back again. China's workforce is expected to shrink by more than 0.5% a year, the Capital Economics report said, as fewer young people replace a growing number of retirees. In the US, by contrast, the workforce is expected to expand through the next 30 years, supported by higher fertility than in China and by immigration. The median estimate in a Wall Street Journal survey of demographers and economists was for a 15% drop in 2020 births from 2019, which was 14.65 million in 2019. The most restrained estimate was for a 10% drop. When China published the estimate for its 2020 per capita gross domestic product, the equivalent of about $11,200, demographers said the numbers indicated that China's population rose only slightly last year. Details on total population, births, and deaths aren't expected until China released census results in April. Several cities have already reported big birth declines. Wenzhou, Hefei, and Ningbo, with populations of around 8 million to 9 million each, said births last year fell 19%, 20%, and 12% respectively. The Ministry of Public Security said earlier last month that a little over 10 million newborns were registered under China's household registration system in 2020, down 15% from 2019. Not all babies are registered with the local police, but the data was still a harbinger of a big drop in official birth numbers. Demographers said the pandemic probably contributed to suppressing births, adding to problematic fundamentals, including a declining number of women of childbearing age and a reluctance to have 2 children among many couples who grew up without siblings under the one-child policy. Births at the maternity hospitals in 20 Chinese cities declined 24% during the first 10 months of 2020, according to a Credit Suisse report last year. The findings foreshadow rising pressure on policymakers to remove remaining family planning controls and switch to proactively support the birth rate, the report says. The abolition of the one-child policy in 2016 set off expectations for a boom in second children. But a baby bump in 2016 was short-lived. Every year since, births have declined. Doctors said many hospitals are trimming their pay and downsizing maternity wards. A pediatrician at a women and children's hospital in Nanjing in eastern China said the number of new births at the hospital shrank by about 1/5 in 2020 from 2019. "I worry I will be jobless one day," the doctor said. To increase births, some local governments across China have started to quietly allow families to have a 3rd child, rather than officially permitted 2. In a February 18 statement, the National Health Commission said it would let local authorities in China's economically depressed northeast, where birth rates have been especially low, explore lifting birth restrictions on a trial basis. But even if the restrictions are lifted nationwide, it will at this point have little effect. Once births start to drop, it is hard to turn the trend around. There is a terminology for this trend, low-fertility trap, which was introduced by Australian demographer Wolfgang Lutz and others in 2006. According to a report in 21st Century Business Herald, a business news daily, some policy advisors to the Communist Party will propose measures to encourage more births, including extending maternity leave to 6 months from the current 3, and subsidies for housing and education expenses for second children. Even if subsidies or other incentives persuade Chinese couples to have more than one child, birth rates are likely to remain low because of a lingering effect of the one-child policy. The number of women ages 15 to 49 has been falling by an average of more than 5 million annually from 2017 to 2019, according to official data. The low fertility in China is here, is real, and will continue. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly.